Listen, there's a lot of directions to go with the good this weekend, right? I mean, you could do anything from Taylor and her reaction with Travis after the game, how she backed off when Travis and Jason embraced. But, I just talked about that about 20 minutes ago. So my good from the weekend is going to be this Chiefs defense, Steve Spagnuolo, his game plan to keep Lamar Jackson in check, and the fact that if you told me the Chiefs score 17 points in this game, I say they're losing by anywhere from 3 to 10 points.
Touché.
And didn't score in the entire second half, John, and got it done, man. I mean,
How about them?
I know, you're deep down. You like this team when it's playing great defense. We all do.
Oh, absolutely.
But I know you're a guy, you like, and you've always been a little hot and bothered by this team being, all offense, too flashy, and the defense showing up in the big spots. How about Snead with that forced fumble at the goal line on Flowers right at the half-yard line? I was worried that was going to be one of those calls that was too close to, overturn.
Me too.
I was like, oh, boy, people are going to be complaining. The Chiefs got the call. The call has to stand, but it was very obvious.
They always have somebody with the right angle, but then the referee steps in front of it, right? Those get annoying.
They do. But that's not what happened in this. That was very obvious that he fumbled it before the goal line. And that guy's good. That's Zay Flowers. He's a good player. Mm-hmm. But, he did some boneheaded things. He had that taunting penalty on himself after the big catch earlier in the drive. And then, listen, you're not going to blame a guy for trying to get to the goal line. But, man, Snead just came in at the right time. Right after Snead was the guy who got taunted on and just got that ball right out of there. So, big Steve Spagnuolo fan.
Well, like Taylor Swift, I appreciate Snead not overreacting with that taunt. He could have got up and caused a scene, but he just kind of laid there. He was like, hey.
Yeah, you got me there. But, hey, let's give this drive a couple more plays. Let's see what happens. All right? Let's see what happens.
So many good, you're going to have to bundle them.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, man. That's Claire's favorite commercial is the
VB, MVB.
That's 4 words.
Oh, okay.
Bundle, home, and auto. Bundle,
Right.
home, and auto. Wait, that's not if you bundle them. Oh,
The guy going into convulsions.
Yeah, that guy.
Funny little dance move.
Dumps the Gatorade on his head. Yesterday, I was explaining to her what Gatorade is. I'm like, well, it's a drink for athletes and the whole thing. Blah blah blah.
It's Kool-Aid with salt in it, Claire.
So that's the good from the weekend. The bad. This is just. We'll stick to sports here, not the kind of sports we want. But remember Leah Thomas, the dude who won all the female swim races from 2022 UPenn? Leah Thomas is now taking legal action as he tries to compete as a woman in the 2024 Olympics. I mean, this dude's nuts. Thomas has hired a Canadian law firm to ask the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Switzerland to change the World Aquatic rules. At the moment, Leah Thomas, as a guy, cannot compete in elite competitions, for obvious reasons. World Aquatics has said in a statement that they remain confident that its gender inclusion policy represents a fair approach and remains absolutely determined to protect women's sports. Well, good for them, by the way. That is very admirable. In a world where people are afraid and they're kowtowing and they're bowing down, they're saying, no. No, Leah Thomas, you are not going to be competing in the Olympics as a woman. Sorry, but Leah Thomas is mounting this legal battle against World Aquatics to overturn the swimming governing body's effective ban on guys from competing in the highest level of the sport. So this was confirmed on Friday, and you got this Canadian law firm who's doing all the work, and hopefully they stand strong on this, because it's absolutely ridiculous that women who train for 4 years for this moment. And I'm excited to watch the Olympics this summer. I've kind of lost my touch in caring about the Olympics because nothing unifies us anymore, sadly. But I'm excited for it just to kind of watch it as now a dad with at least one of my girls being old enough to kind of understand what's going on. 4 years ago when we had the Olympics last, or I guess it was 2021 because they canceled it in 2020. So Claire was like 2.5, 3, and she was kind of into the gymnastics. But now she's, 5, 6, and she'll be into it. And I'm looking forward to watching it with her. And the last thing I want to be explaining to her is why a dude is swimming against the women. I just don't have any interest in that, John.
I'm with you. Reagan wrecked the Olympics. He tore down the Iron Curtain.
Yeah.
So you're not going against the Eastern Bloc and the Soviet Union anymore. It's not like Iran's got a hockey team or anything.
That's a great point.
Kind of taking a little bit of fun out of it for all those comic people, baby boomers.
Yep. That's so true. And, man, if you haven't gotten to Lake Placid, that's a fun trip in the summertime. You got to get up there. So then the ugly from the weekend. Starbucks, if you're getting your coffee this morning, a reminder, don't go to Starbucks. They have fired a barista who did great work fending off a couple of thieves. So Starbucks has fired a heroic barista who subdued and protected a coworker from robbers after getting pistol whipped in the head. 20-year-old Michael Harrison was working his way through paramedic school. He was fired after two criminals tried robbing the store in St. Louis. This is downtown St. Louis. The men rushed into the store with guns, told everyone to get on the floor. Harrison was instructed to open the cash register, which he couldn't because he didn't have the credentials. The men went through Harrison's pockets. He was pistol whipped in the head. A coworker believed the gun was fake, so he started fighting off the robbers, and Harrison jumped into the action as well. He was able to subdue one of the men who was later arrested. The police officers thanked Harrison and his coworker for their bravery. Both assailants were arrested. He was praised by local media, but Starbucks fired him. Just a reminder as to who and what Starbucks is. This guy should have gotten a raise. Instead, he was fired. Michael Harrison. That's the good, bad, and the ugly.